Alrighty then. We are in the recording zone. Welcome everyone to another week of the Reaper Soldiers. We are deep within the Labyrinth, getting very close to, well, the end of something. We'll see. I think it might be decided tonight, but if not, well, we'll see what happens. So, yet again, it appears that Mr. Mike, you were the last to make a roll. So would you mind giving us a rundown about what happened last week?
Can I defer?
Sure, we'll defer, and we'll give this to the second to last person, which would be Blanche. So, Blanche, give us a rundown of what happened last week.
Blanche!
Traitor.
Hey, you can rat me out on why I'm deferring.
He doesn't remember, folks. He's
He
a
is
piss poor
drunk.
drunkard.
I have to open my notes.
He's
Hold
the
on a
bad
sec.
kind of drunken master, where instead of actually fighting, he just
Well-
falls over.
Last week I was sober at the beginning. I could actually somewhat work it.
Where's
Okay.
that drunk
And
recollection?
Pre-game drinking?
Yeah.
He's
a
been
lot of
pre-gaming
it.
since like 8 o'clock this
Oh
morning.
boy. Oh jeez.
Okay, so basically, most of my notes are only on what my character knows, so
Yep.
I may leave some things out. I'm sorry. Blanche took Miss Hogan home. There was a lot of Greek imagery around the house. It was very opulent. She went to the library. Changed into a lower middle class, like worker-ish woman. I believe William is still in the, or was still in the labyrinth. At some point, he ate a rat instead of a person because he's a good boy.
No, I was just hungry.
Yeah, he's still a monster.
Mike was outside of the building and cleaned up the bodies. I remember that. Blanche managed to make like an Olympic sprinter and catch a train to the warehouse district.
Mm-hmm.
Where she met up with Mike. She cast an illusion to keep the police from finding them after some guy with a gun tried to shoot Mike. She kind of threw out part of her back in the process of getting him not shot. And then eventually we went into the building and found out that it leads to a labyrinth. And I think we left off with Shin Lim carrying the kid that we came looking for in the first place, and he's running from something which is behind him at a distance.
Absolutely. So as the camera fades from the city scene and it comes back into the industrial, we kind of fade back into this very misty, fairly tight tunnel of twisted, it appears just old, ragged, rusty metal. It's strange. The metal almost seems to be stretched in some places, but all turning and twisting, poking out. Every 5-6 feet, there's one of these clay kind of lanterns that hangs off the wall with a river of just this thick whitish gray smoke that kind of pours from it that fill the hallway, causing a lot of haze and lack of visibility. Just a moment ago, Blanche had caused the ground about 15 feet ahead to begin to kind of tremble and roll backwards as if a treadmill. And this was because she had heard that something was making its way down here. It wasn't exactly what they had expected. At first it was a flash, a blur of speed that stumbled and bumbled into the wall. Mike recognized that it was Shin Lim, but he was not on his own. Over his shoulder was a body. As soon as Shin Lim stumbled and began to slow, he dropped the body, which then rolled in front of Mike, who's been stood in a braced position. Looking down, he recognized that while the hair is longer and the clothes are much dirtier and the smile seems a bit more gaunt, this is obviously Hans Bexley, the son that they'd been looking for. As he looked up, the ground still shook, and from the mist came a man, a big man, bare-chested, a large barrel-like chest full of dark curly hair seemed to coat all of his body. He has long, almost dripping oily black brown hair, and he comes charging out of the tunnel, stopping right at the edge of where this ground had begun to spin backwards, looking down upon it. Looking up through the mist, you see his eyes. They almost appear to glow a dark purple and almost seem to pierce through the haze. So he looks down. So now the four of you. Ah, I see I have more users trapped within my walls. Shin, I thought we had a deal. Why is it you are trying to steal my supply away from me? He takes a step forward right onto the spot where the ground is moving, and he stands perfectly still. He looks down upon it and simply taps his foot, and the ground begins to stop moving. Shin kind of pulls his body away and looks down at the two of you and looks down to Hans. If you can get out of here, I have an agreement with this family. If you help me, I will help you. The boss hollows behind. This one's a sly one. I wouldn't trust him if I were you. That boy is already mine. You help me take out Shin, we could have a replacement. You leave Shin for me, you can take this boy. You both have a decision to make. What would you like to do?
I don't suppose the file that she was given ever gave guidance on what to do in a situation like this, did it?
Mm-mm.
Turn to page 6400, paragraph 3.
Run! That's your advice.
I'm gonna kind of lean in and whisper to Mike. I'm not inclined to make a deal with anyone at this stage.
So
I don't know who this one is, and she'll gesture to Shin them, but the big one there's a danger if we just leave him here. We may get this one out, we may get our target out. There'll just be another target next week, and the week after that.
Understood.
Ooh, pardon me.
And we still have to find William.
No, I'm there. It's okay.
Oh,
just
you're
showed
with
up.
us?
Not yet. We'll get there.
I could do that though.
You kinda. We'll get there. Don't worry.
What? You're ruining my powers.
Who's... Is that, So that's the boy, Shinlim, and then the one dude.
So you have this here is Hans.
Yeah.
This is
I got
Shin. Yep. And the boss is up there.
Oh. I want to step onto the other side of the boy and just keep kind of holding my ground for the moment.
So as you step forward, you hear a shift behind you, and Launch, you'll see the mist kind of. It almost seems like it sucks into almost like a black hole for a moment, and then standing in that same spot now is William. William, as you appear, You look down the hallway, and you can see all the figures there, but you hear something back behind you. You hear the sound of children talking, and back the other way, you can see a light that seems welcoming. It seems calling to you, and there's actually a door on the edge of the hallway. It looks very similar to the door you have to your classroom. You have an option. If you follow these sounds and go to that door, I will give you attention to that logos. If you choose to fight the visions the mists are supplying you, you'll need to face danger or attempt to be more consumed within its grasp.
Mm. Um. It's a tough choice. Well, let's face danger. Yeah, screw it.
Okay. So you see this and you somehow get it in your mind that this is just a trick. This is not real. My crew is here. I need to do what I'm here for. Please face danger. This will just be a straight roll unless you have any specific power tags that will help you to clear your mind of trickery.
Let's see. Let's use Indomitable, yeah, because it's worked so well in the past, and let's use that well-fed story tag.
Okay.
Because I ate the rat.
So on this face danger, a 10 plus will remove 1 tier of your mental trip. On a 7 to 9, you will avoid the separation but suffer 1 mental strain, a tier 1 mental strain. On a miss, it's unavoidable. You will enter what you see, as if your body does not wish to follow your orders.
Good luck, guys. I'm probably going through some kind of door. Hey,
There
screw
you go. Nice. So your mental trip begins to fade. It's now down to a tier 2 status.
Yay.
With that, you notice that the strange, almost faces you were seeing in the mist seem to fade. You realize that it was just the way the smoke was moving around. You can now see fairly clearly. The mist still kind of hangs thick in front of you, or the smoke and the haze. But you can definitely recognize Shin Lim down there. Far in the back part of the hall, you see these dark purple eyes seeming to gaze down past the lanterns, down past the smoke, into all of you. Blanche, as Mike takes a step over Hans, you look down at Hans, and you can see that he's breathing. His breath is shallow. He looks to be very nutrition, very thin. His clothes appear to be hanging off of him, but his eyes open, and his pupils are larger and darker than anything you've ever seen. And you see him begin to reach to grab for Mike's leg. What do you want to do?
Can I try to cast a spell to pull whatever toxin is in him that's making him act this way out? To try and kind of flush his system?
Interesting. I like the idea. What would that be?
I'd be willing to risk her ending up infected in some way.
Yeah. I guess give me an idea of the type of spell Blanche would think would actually help here. You know, you can tell that he's clearly intoxicated on a very severe level. So what kind of spell would you be trying to use?
Well, based on the place that we're in and how it seems to be working and the mist seems to be at play, I would say it's probably something to try to override, um, like a foreign control. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm having a hard time making words. You know, kind of a almost like a counter charm type of thing, where she's trying to pull whatever is in him out.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever effect the mists are having on him, she wants to pull it out of him.
Okay. Let's see which move that would be. Do you have an idea of what move, or I guess we'll kind of bring it to the table. I'm seeing that this could be a mixture. Change the game is kind of where I'm leaning, but yeah, I'm willing to have a conversation since magic is a new thing, what we haven't really experienced. So it kind of has the ability to flow through different moves.
I don't want to screw you over, but if you're trying to do this and not get infected by the thing, wouldn't that be a face danger?
I was looking at face danger.
So I think it may be a mixture of moves. So one to
Or,
possibly create.
Take a risk.
I would say maybe there's one that's actually creating the spell itself. So kind of creating how powerful the spell's going to be. And then, yeah, the actual ability of using it.
There was a dryer sheet in my pants. Where the hell did that come from?
That's...
I just picked to take my shoe off, and there's just a dryer sheet hanging from my pants. I'm very confused.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm probably leaning towards change the game because that's one of the few moves that allows you to reduce a status.
Blanche just dropped.
What? Bye. Bye, Blooded. Have a good day. So while she's deciding on the magic spell, Phazon, roll a d20.
Why am I rolling a d20?
I don't know, why not?
Yeah, I think what we'll do is I'll have her change the game to see how powerful of a spell she'll do and then take the risk to actually apply it. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what that's for, but you win.
Hey, he told me to roll a d20. I rolled a d20.
And now her roll is an automatic success.
Oh.
Because it's the first time we've seen a spell like this. It can't go below a 7 to 9. Yay! Rules!
I think Spoon's cheating.
Spoon's not cheating. Spoon's just using persuasive arguments. Nope.
Indeed.
Update. Alright, well, while she's doing that, I'll be right back. I'm gonna take my trash to the kitchen as well.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well take a 5-minute recess real quick.
Okay.
Mostly so I can get some more to drink.
There you go.
Well, that was fun. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're fine. No worries.
It was just like, let's force an update, and my connection to the voice went to red, so I couldn't say or hear anything, and then it just restarted.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Discord servers sometimes go wonky, I've noticed.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have you change the game to basically create the spell to see how powerful of the spell you can create, and then we'll have you take a risk to actually apply it to see if there's any possibility of you being affected by any kind of a cast back.
Okay.
So to begin with, yeah, what power tags are we using to make the spell?
Well, cast magic spells.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go with cunning because she's trying to, or patience and cunning because she's trying to get around someone else's control while in their domain, so to speak. And see beyond the mist because she thinks this is all born from the effects of the mist around them.
Okay. Sounds good.
So let's change the game, yes?
Nice. Okay. So with that, you get basically you can clear up to 4 tiers, which is almost going to completely cleanse him. If you want to find a way to tweak that around, we can definitely discuss that a bit. So right now you're looking to cleanse the toxins. I could say if you wanted to spend one of your power to scale up the effect, you might be able to help clear some of your companions as well.
Sure.
But that might put you at more risk to do so.
Let's do it. If I can clear them up so that they can actually handle fighting this guy, I'm good with that.
Okay, so this is going to be like a blast of magic. This would be then a tier 3 that you can apply. What would you call this magic?
Oh,
Thaumaturgy. I don't know what the question was, but all I heard was, what would you call the magic?
I would think that it's kind of on the, like, on a balance between counter illusion and restorative magic. I don't know that she's gonna come up with a name for the spell like off the top of her head, and she's kind of winging it at the moment anyway.
Okay.
Counter
But
restoration.
that's the idea.
Okay. So yeah, this will basically be take the risk to apply a tier 3 status to the full group.
Okay. So am I putting a +3 in the plus thing?
So no, this is for your take the risk. It's basically we're gonna just have if you have any power tags about how you would be careful then casting the spell, we can apply it to this roll. The tier 3 is just the status that everyone will receive if you succeed in successfully casting it.
Oh.
So it will basically clear up to tier 3 of mental trip. So
can I use a help point?
if you can explain how you're gonna help her with magic, yeah.
Just cheer her on. You're like, yay, you can do it.
Do you feel like that would
No,
help?
I don't. He doesn't even know me. We've never spoken before this moment, so his face is probably not super.
Yay, strange lady doing weird things. Yay. Yay. Mike trusts you, so I don't know about you. Yay.
Let's see.
And again, Michael just stand in front of anybody because he has no.
So for tags, I'm
No
gonna
anger.
go with stability because she's trying to provide that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with cast magic spells, obviously, because that's what she's doing. Woman of her time, because they were generally taught to be selfless and help everybody before themselves.
Okay. I'm going to invoke your weakness of not my own person. As you start to question if you have the power to actually affect 3 people or not.
Okay.
Yeah, let's roll it to see how everybody's gonna be feeling.
I really hope I did this right. Take a risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really hope you do it right too, because I could really use to be level-headed.
Okay. Alright, this is easy. I'm gonna offer you a choice. You can definitely clear Hans. You can choose to clear all of Mike's status, but in order to do that, it's gonna cause basically some of the smoke to get denser around. Let me switch that around. You can clear all the statuses of William to get him level-headed, but to do so, it's actually gonna cause the smoke to kind of focus around Mike, causing him to possibly increase his status, or you can do it the other way around. You can choose who to clear, but the other one's going to be at more risk as the smoke's going to start to swirl around them.
I can't choose to take the smoke on to myself.
Sure. You can take that choice too.
I'm already high enough. Why would you want to just...
Yeah, I would like to make the choice to...
I mean, I'm trying to say, why would you want to... do it yourself. Just make me more high. I don't care.
I'm gonna make the choice to take it on myself.
Okay.
Oh.
So as you begin to force this magic to release from you, the air shifts and begins to pull some of the smoke towards you. The little bit of magic spell you have in front of you begins to flutter and flutter a little bit before it seems to just completely give out. You're actually going to drop to a tier 1 of fresh air for that status. But it's still able to keep you a bit above water, as it were. But you can definitely tell things are beginning to change. I don't believe Mike is back yet, so we'll keep going.
No, I'm back.
Oh, you
I
are
just
back.
forgot
Perfect.
to undo it.
So as this magic releases, Mike, you hear a deep breath behind you, a gasping of air as Han's pupils begin to release their dilation, dropping down pretty severely, and he looks around, now in a panic state, begins to try to stumble and rise. This causes the attention of Shin, who looks to you and gives a moment to try to figure out what are you going to do at this moment. So Mike, as you see Han begin to stand up in a panic, trying to figure out where he is and what he is, possibly putting himself at risk at the many points and prods of this hallway, what do you want to do?
Ooh.
Well, that's just a terrible elephant. I can't draw. I'm no Robin.
Well, I'm gonna go with the stupid decision, and when I hear him wake up, I'm gonna take like half a step back and put most of my weight on my front left foot, but my right foot is actually just gonna pin him to the ground.
Okay. So you hear him begin to move and you just step back and step on him. As you step down, you hear a crack and he cries out in pain. You definitely, he is not able to hold very much weight at all. Kind of grabs aside and looks up. Who are you? Begins kind of just choking with panicked breath. You see the eyes off in the distance, William. They begin to fade and then seem to disappear from the map. You feel the ground starting to thump again, but you're unsure exactly where it's coming from. But it doesn't seem he begins to move away. Looking down the hall, Shinlim kind of starts standing. He's looking again, trying to read the situation, see what you all do, but he turns, he notices that the boss is no longer standing there. You can tell it's only going to be a few more moments before he makes his decision. You have a moment here. Your mind is more clear than it's been since you've entered. What would you like to do?
I don't know. Gotta put all the hard questions on me, Just why don't we just leave, guys? We got who we came for, I think. Is that what's his name? Let's get out of here. I don't even know who she is.
I can't breathe. And he starts hyperventilating in front of you, his chest just heaving, and every time he does, more smoke just soaks into his mouth. Both you and Blanche can start to... Sorry, what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, both you and Blanche can see that he is just consuming a large amount of this smoke. And while the magic seems to be holding him, level-minded for the moment, if he does not get calm, it most likely will not stay that way.
Blanche is gonna kind of hurry over and sort of smack Mike on the arm. Get off of him. And then, assuming that he does, She's gonna kneel down beside Hans and put her hands on either side of his face and lock eyes with him and try to will him to sleep.
Okay. William, as you see Blanche begin to move towards Hans to try to help calm him, barely past the large frame of Mike, you can see Shinlim look, kind of realize there's nothing happening here. And with a flash, he begins running back down the same hall that he had come up from. What would you like to do?
Me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you repeat that? Somebody was talking to me.
So
Sorry.
you notice Hans begins to hyperventilate. Blanche goes over, drops down to her knees, and begins to place her hands on the side of his face, beginning to try to calm him. Just as she heads over, you notice that Shinlim looks to the group of Mike. You can barely see past the large frame of Mike down the hallway. And understanding that it seems he wasn't going to get his way, he turns and with a flash heads back down the hall he once come. What would you like to do?
I assume you two have a way out of here, yes?
Yes, but we need to stop that thing, or it's just going to take someone else and we'll be back next week.
You notice that there's a thin red line that appears to be running from a bag that Blanche is carrying on her side.
Oh, in fact, just this strange woman you've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the weird lady. Why don't you take the kid out of here? And me and Mike will deal with the thing.
And leave you two alone so that you can muck up one more thing. No, I don't think so.
Who is this sassy child, Mike? What's going on here?
She looks older than you.
Yeah, but I'm older than everybody. It's okay. I'm a school teacher. I've already aged 1 billion years in 1 year. It's okay.
My name is Blanche, and the order sent me to help you. Apparently, you all tend to make a bit of a mess when you're left to your own devices.
One time! One time!
Says the man who wandered into the labyrinth alone. So, can I put him to sleep?
So as you begin to place your hands around him, yeah, go ahead and hit with all you've got to put him to sleep. Okay. He looks at you, and again, his eyes are panicked, but he also sees a motherly kind of, and she's not a child right now. She's what did we say, 35-year-old dock worker, something like that.
Pretty much.
Some 80-year-old grandma. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he's looking up to, again, you know, a woman dressed in worker gear. So he's very confused, but I think he hasn't felt pain in a long time. You know, the drugs seem to have numbed that, and he just definitely cracked something, and the pain is just causing him to go a bit crazy. So yeah, let's hit with all you've got to knock this boy out.
Yeah, I'm taking Woman of Her Time and cast magic spells. Nope.
So as you go to fall asleep, you all hear a loud crack, like someone just snapped their foot down as hard as they could. The ground begins to shudder and shake, and you start to see this crack forming down this hallway. As it gets close to these two lanterns, they both tilter and begin to fall to the ground. This one, if it reaches the ground, William, will light the string on fire that leads you out of here. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna grab it.
Take the risk.
Dive under it. Grab it. So we're gonna use super speed and predict a foe's next move. And martial arts training, yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna say that the story tag of pricks and points definitely plays in here, because if you go too far, you're definitely gonna stab your hand.
Oh, that's right. That's supposed to be on there, isn't it?
It's okay. I'll call out story tags as they need to be. I think you should have them on your character card.
Oh, it's actually on. Yeah, it's actually on there. That's where it is. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a negative, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm gonna do -1. Well, no. How do I do this? Plus. You just hit -1, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes. Okay. Yeah. And so that's a face danger.
That's a take a risk.
Take a risk. Okay.
Take a risk.
Risk it. Take a. It's a 9.
Okay.
It's not that great. It's better.
You can catch it, but it's gonna burn your hand.
That's fine.
Okay. You dive to catch this lantern, and it's hot. You take. I'm gonna say this is a what do we think here? Burnt hands. I'm gonna say this is probably up to a tier 2 status, but I'll let you face danger. I won't say there's any additional power tags to add to this one necessarily, because this is just how well you can resist. If you can think of any power tags you haven't used in the previous roll to use towards your body just kind of absorbing this pain, I'm cool with you adding those. But yeah, we'll be facing danger against a tier 2 burnt palm status.
Maybe Ultimate Fighter, because my hands are probably pretty calloused from fighting and punching and the like.
Okay.
Alright, and then it just a face danger. Here we go! Nope.
Okay. So as you go to catch it, it drops into your hand, but the liquid just falls and begins to pour down your inner arms. And you take the full tier 2 status as this hot, liquid of opium water just burns all down your palms and your arm.
Ow!
Mike.
Ow, very hot.
You hear everything going around you. The end of the hall is empty, and there's a loud crash, and you hear the sound of William burning back behind you. You just saw Shinlim chase off down the way, and you can still hear heavy footsteps almost all around you. It seems that Hans is now asleep back behind you, but you have a moment to make a decision. What do you want to do?
I am actually going to continue holding my ground.
Okay.
Just because it sounds like they're everywhere doesn't mean they're actually everywhere.
Ah, the lazy man's choice. I'll be your wall for the next 3 games.
Well, 3 games.
Well, it's been 2 so far.
2.5. Calm down.
You calm down. You're the one that's just being a wall.
Focus, guys, focus.
I don't want to focus. Focusing got me burnt. It hurts.
You all hear a rush of wind down the hallway that this loud crash just came from. And then you feel like you hear some kind of combat, some kind of fighting, the sounds of punches landing and kicks and grunts. They all appear to be coming from down this hallway and then down a few other hallways. It would seem that whoever else is running around here might be in the midst of combat. Hans is asleep at your feet.
This would be a good time for us to strike. In the stories, The Minotaur was defeated because he was distracted.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna basically 1 foot, the next foot, just kind of walking in that order of just kind of that more of a sneaking, still in that kind of defensive phase, walking down the hallway.
He's sumoing his way down the hallway.
You begin to make your way forward. Yeah, I don't know if my arrow came up there. The sound is coming from back behind you, the opposite way that you were facing.
Oh.
So William, you would be hearing it from coming, like, echoing down this hallway.
Okay.
As you make your way to the corner, the string gets tight, as if it's been tripped around something, and begins to pull. Blanche, you feel your bag get kind of tight, and you start to hear the sound of the yarn beginning to spin out of your bag.
Something's got a hold of the string. Hurry. And she's gonna look at William. I can't carry him.
Ow! Arms! Ow! I'm on fire here. Mike,
I thought you were burnt. Okay.
I am burnt. It hurts. It's on fire. It hurts.
Baby.
I'll throw him over my shoulder though. Ow! It hurts. Ow!
Are you trying to lift him with your burnt arms?
Yeah, sure.
Can I help him?
You can help him. I think that's definitely going to be a risk, though, to making his very not very red and charred arms a bit even worse.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll help.
Gonna do Indomitable, and that'll probably be it. Maybe I can use. I don't know. It's a story tag. Can I use well fed again?
Yeah,
'Cause it's not
sure.
technically juice. Just I'm strong enough to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I remove the help thing when I spend it? to
Yeah,
help him?
yeah. So it's another form of juice.
So I add another plus.
Yes.
And here comes face danger. Hey!
Okay. So you're able to pick him up somehow, avoiding to tear at your arms even further, and begin to make your way down the hallway. Mike, as you come around that corner, you can see shadows. The combat, it seems to be sporadic. Fast hits followed by a solid thud. You can hear mumbling, but you'd have to go a bit further down the hallway to hear what might be said.
Well, I'm not gonna risk breaking the string. I'm gonna just kind of lightly tug on it.
It
I mean,
appears to
I'm keeping up with you at this point.
it appears to tug back. It starts to grow tight up against the wall, pulling it up to the metal side of it. And you can feel that if it keeps grinding up against the side, it's going to start to begin to be cut. You continue to hear these punches, groans, kicks.
We need to leave, guys. This is bad.
I mean, I'm running in the direction that the tugging is coming from. I should probably
Which
move
is
my toe to reflect
This way, I suppose.
Yep, it's that red line is your string.
that. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna move up and just shift so that it's not pressed up against the wall as much.
Yep. As you
I'm still staying behind.
yeah, you continue to go closer and closer and closer. You hear one final solid thud. And then again, silence.
It's
The
definitely not
string
good, guys.
falls silent It almost flutters to the ground. And for the first time since you've entered, the lanterns seem to darken. The smoke begins to lighten. It almost seems to change the way it looks. No longer stretched metal, but almost like normal patterned walls. What would you like to do?
Head down the hall.
Keep going.
You continue to follow the string, and you come to. It looks like the scene of a battle. There's blood on the floor. There's pieces of purple cloth up against the points and pricks of the wall. There's these large, big man footsteps down in the wall, down into the walls and the floor, and places where it looks like points may have actually punctured the foot. But you don't see a body. You still see the string. Continues to go down another hallway. And it leads to another door. Looking past the door, it's difficult to see. You're able to see it. It's a darker room, but there's no source of light within it. The string seems to lead from the floor down into it.
You guys came in up some stairs?
The room you would have come into, you would have walked down some stairs into it, and then she would have tied the string to the door on the top of those stairs that led kind of into a little cellar area.
Oh yeah, I know. I
Yes.
just didn't know where they came in is all.
Yes, we came downstairs.
So we're going back downstairs to go out?
You don't see any stairs right now.
I thought it...
You can look through the mist, but it's into a dark room, and the mist is obscuring it enough. You can't tell that it's more than a dark room.
I thought you said it went down. Sorry.
No. The string itself is now resting on the floor as she made her way through there, kind of resting on the floor, and travels through the mist into this room.
Oh. Well, what do you guys say? Into the scary, spooky, dark room?
Yes.
Okay, new lady, lead on.
She's gonna look at Mike.
And I'm gonna bash the door in.
You kick the door in. You still see a dark room. You can tell the very little light that's coming from the lantern behind you leads to a dirt floor. But beyond a few feet from the door, it's difficult to see anything.
Is there a way to grab the lantern?
I wouldn't do that.
Hold it up?
Those things are poisonous.
Well, yes, if they're
There is a
falling.
small, it looks like a metal kind of latch on the very top that it appears to be held onto the wall with, so you could probably pick it up and move it over.
Yeah, that's what I would like to do. I'd like to grab one of the lanterns very carefully.
No,
And bring it to the doorway.
Okay.
those things are bad.
As you bring light closer to the door, you see a dark room, maybe about 20 by 15 foot around. Inside, there's it looks like a lockbox on the far side of the room. There's also what appears to be it almost looks like a milk crate that's full of notes and letters. And sitting in a chair, bloody, beaten, next to it is Shin Lim. He looks up to you with your red string wrapped around his wrist. You will never find your way out of here, not without me. You can defeat me if you wish, but you will never find your way out of this place. If you assist me in getting out of here, I will show you the way. It is your choice now. He just bows his head. What would you like to do?
Blanche is gonna look at Mike and William. Well, we could make this deal. Or I could try to take the information from him, though I've never done that before.
I don't know, I'm still kind of hungry. He doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
William, you feel a presence back behind you. Down the hallway, you begin to see those dark, purple eyes peering at you down the way. And they begin moving your way. You only have a moment to decide before they're here.
Oh look,
What are you gonna
Big
do?
Dark and Brody's back.
Shin
Mike,
Lin
grab
looks.
the guy and let's leave.
He does not know of this room. If you come, you will be safe in here for now.
I've spent enough time high in here, guys. Let's get out of here.
We can't leave without him. She's
Well-
pointing.
I'm gonna shove everybody in the room.
I was already in the room.
I guess we're in the room. Because I'm tiny, it wouldn't take anything to shove me.
So as
I'm
you
gonna close the door.
all enter the room and close the door, you hear a loud bestial growl. Damn you, Shen! I will find you! I will destroy you for this. And the footsteps seem to wander back and forth as if he's just not able to find this room. Shinlim looks up. Stupid beast. He will never find his way out of here. Certainly not without the body of that boy. If you leave him me, or that boy, he will be let free. He just needs one more. I never planned for this boy to die. It was just a ways and ends to a mean, you understand. That's why I was here. To get him out. I have an agreement with the family, as I said. He goes into his pocket and begins to ruffling for something, pulls out a letter, throws it to the floor.
I'll pick it up.
1 second. Need to cough real quick. All right. As you pick it up, you can see that there's an address on it that it came from the gated community, and it says the Bexley family. The envelope is pretty nicely detailed. Like you can see through the white. It's not just like a standard white envelope. It has like a bit of ivy, and it again very kind of boisterous. Opening it up, there's a bit of a parchment, and on it it just says, "We agree to the sum of 60,000 and to the terms of the agreement. We will meet you at the church on Tuesday." And it's signed Mr. and Mrs. Bexley.
You're just going to take these people's money.
He looks up. You're a working girl. Do you think that those that live behind their walls, that don't really work for a day in their life, deserve to sit upon the ivory towers while the rest of us have to struggle for a simple piece of bread or a roof over our heads? Their son, he is useless. Look at him. Nothing more than a druggie. There's too many of those. You will appear to, well, your overalls show that you probably have friends that suffer from such concerns. So yes, Yes, was I going to ransom their son to them? Absolutely. How else? Was I going to let him die? No. I was willing to risk my skin to come in here and get him out. You all just decided to arrive on the wrong day. You would have had it handled. Do you not agree?
I don't think parents should have to pay to see their child alive.
But it's okay for parents to pay for their children to just become addicted beyond themselves, to no longer just be a child, to just be
Their
a vegetable.
flaws and their shortcomings do not make what you're doing.
Must be nice not to have to get your hands dirty. Kind of looks to you, Mike, as he says that. Well, I gave you your choice. We can all go. I will get us out of here. You'll give me the boy, and I will complete my duty. In fact, what were they going to give you for this? A reward, I assume? If you let me come out of here, you all can take most. I just need 10. You can take the other 50.
William, put the boy down. Look at him. Please.
Mike, can you help me?
Yeah, I'll help him put the boy down gently.
She's just gonna be looking him over and testing the rib she suspects is broken and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be broken, probably just cracked. There's definitely a bit of swelling, but you don't see like heavy bruising or anything you would normally see when a rib is broken. His breathing is shallow but steady. But this room, because there's no smoke in it, it seems like he's starting to catch his breath. He seems to probably have not eaten for weeks now. His only consumption seeming to have been the drug itself, to the point that all of his veins are almost a dark purple. His skin is very very white and almost see-through. It's almost kind of eerie to look at. His hair is...
Take him to hospital.
That will be up to the parents to do. They want their boy back. They know what he was going to become. They can make their decision from there. If they wish to take him, they have their own hospital behind that wall. They have their own doctors. If they want to try to break him from his addiction, so be it.
Is there a separate, like a really, really nice hospital up where the mansions are, or do we share with the ones behind them?
You tell me?
Or with the gated community?
You tell me? I know the
Probably.
only hospital that we've established so far is the Royal Hospital in downtown, which is the teaching hospital. It's like the biggest one within the city itself. But yeah, beyond that, we haven't really touched on any. So.
Yeah, you live there. What's there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not accustomed to getting to make decisions like these. Sorry.
Build our world. Do it.
I would say that the most aristocrats aren't gonna wanna mingle with the riffraff when they're sick. So there's probably at least something small but very high end where she's from.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's actually just another mansion that just a doctor lives in. So like it has his private study and all that kind of stuff. Where if you know of it because you live there, like you go to him. Something like that.
Okay.
Because the thing with the area mansion, so what's really awesome about City of Mist is it kind of breaks down the different districts and everything like that. So the flavor text for mansions, and of course we can develop this or change it as we want to, but this is kind of how it sits. Sullen bare trees and high stone walls mark the beginning of the grounds owned by a proprietor of this estate. As you drive by, unkindness of ravens take flight. When the feathers settle down, you see the old manor house on the hill. The closer you come to the building, the more you're taken by a strange gut feeling, though you know not why. From the courtyard, the gray mansion seems somber and foreboding. When you knock on the door, a peculiar butler will try to drive you away kindly or with a death trap, but will eventually show you inside. Every mansion has an owner, either living or dead. The owner is a unique individual or group, a powerful rift, the awakened ghost or a deceased sleeper, a bizarre family or mythos worshipping cults, or a mysterious transcendent entity completely beyond the city's game of sleep and awakening. Whoever the owner is, they have something that cannot be normally obtained in the city, a game changer. Knowledge of the origins of a powerful villain, a solution to an impending monument threat, or a relic that could set things straight. Whether they share it with the lead characters or for what price remains to be seen. And then goes on to more specifics. So they have like specific locations in the game that I don't tend to use. But yeah, basically makes the mansions sound like they're strange, they're unique. They are not just the rich houses. They each have their purpose.
Okay. I don't know how much longer he'll survive if he's not.
He'll be fine.
I did what I could to clear the poison. He hasn't eaten anything. He's underweight. Ribs are cracked. Just going to shoot Mike a look.
You'd be surprised how long these users can last on that stuff. I'm done with it. He looks over and he kicks the lockbox. Inside you see probably 10 to 12 kilos of opium, all wrapped and tightly bound. He's just gonna keep doing it over and over and over again. The stuff's already out there. Others will keep selling it. I'm done with this shit. This was going to be the last one. The big hurrah. Burn this. Give it to him. Go sell it yourself. The boy will survive.
Got any bandages in there?
Not unless you can use old parchment. References to the box of notes.
You can get us out of here.
I'm the only one. I come and go. That's how he gets his things. I was here, just like him. A few years ago. Found myself in a dark place. Needing a fix. I felt drawn. Like fly to flame. Found myself lost. When I opened my eyes, and I mean when I really opened my eyes, I found that I was not trapped like a fly within a spider web. I could see past the walls, see past the smoke, find my way in and out, and when Abraham and myself, we first met, the fight was something great. Seems he has gotten a bit stronger since that time. Kind of goes and wipes his mouth from some blood. But I was the only one that could find my way around. He never could. He begged for me to show him, but I couldn't. That's what this room is for. This is where I would keep his supply. It's where I'd go to hide when he was trying to find me. It won't be easy, but if you want to get to the front door, I can show you the path.
Do we get the boy out of here, get you healed up, and she'll gesture at William and come back later? Or do we deal with this now while we're here?
Sure. We can punch things.
Yes, but I'm asking now or later?
Mike?
I say we deal with it now.
He starts
Now it
laughing. There's no dealing with Abraham. This is his place. You'll think you'll have him in your grasps, and he will just run down a new hallway, disappear behind a new path. He will submerge your mind in more smoke, drugs, hallucinations, and you will even know what the world is. You'll forget who even you are. This is his place. You play by his rules. As you can tell, you all have seen me before. I'm no easy person to get to. He was able to get to me. And I think I'm a bit stronger than a lot of you.
You clearly haven't been paying attention.
Choice is yours. If you leave this room, you will not be able to return. I will not be able to guide you, and your string, he pulls up his hand, clearly not lead you back to your path. You will be set to wander these halls for the rest of your days. If you wish to be foolish, go forth. I will not stop you.
I suppose I can't use them here because I'm not at the library.
I'm all for fighting. Let's, take him and leave or something. Somebody was sent here to lead. Somebody lead. I'm just here to punch things, and I can't really punch things because my hands are on fire.
Do you do anything other than wine?
I do a pretty good salsa. And I dance a little bit.
Or I'll take a risk. No. You have ashamed me with your salsa. You now must die.
It's mediocre.
And twist your ankle.
Not bad.
Hard bargain or an ugly choice.
You twist your ankle, you get told that you can't dance.
Or you lose your pride, yeah.
I say we take the deal. This is me whispering to Blanche. I say we take the deal, as he says this entity is sealed in this area.
And then come back for him later.
Yeah. Because if it is truly sealed, we won't ever hear of it again unless he is involved, and we will know who to go to.
Or he gets someone else to help him. Creature.
I'm gonna start taking my shirt and tearing little shreds and wrapping it around my arms.
It hurts.
Yeah, but I need it. It hurts a lot, but...
Blanche is gonna turn back to Shen. You get 10. We get the rest. You get us out of here, and you agree never to come back to this place.
Told you I'm done. This is gonna be the last one. That 10 will right a lot of my wrongs. I understand that what I did, it was not good. Don't think that I'm here assuming that I'm in the right. I know I'm not, but sometimes you have to do what you need to do for those that you care about. You get me right, I'll get you right. We'll let the beast burn amongst himself, lost within his hallways.
Well, let's do it. Let's get out of here. This place sucks.
Very well.
Very well. He stands up, takes the ball of yarn, throws it down. Goes over to the stash. Goes into his pocket, pulls out a bit of a flask. Uncorks it, takes a swig, pours the rest on the pile of drugs.
While he's busy, can I grab as many of the notes out of the crate as I can and shove them in my bag?
Mm-hmm. Yep. He goes into another one of his pockets and he pulls out a matchbook that some of you would be familiar with. To that coffee shop. Kind of chuckles. That fucking kid. Alright. You think y'all can keep up?
I think we'll be fine.
Who's gonna have
I
the
can
boy?
try. Mike, put the boy on my shoulders. That's all I can do.
William can carry him. Should have his hands free in case we get it.
Well, we have the choice. He will know that we're there. We can cause a distraction. If one of you go off, cause a ruckus, I can get 2 of you and the boy out while he is distracted. I will come back for the other, of course. Or we can try to go as fast as we can, and I promise you, he will be faster than you expect him to be.
I think I can cause a distraction without leaving.
No. You two go. I got this.
Without leaving. I
So-
can stay with the group and still distract. It's not that hard.
Kind of looks at you. All
So
right.
so wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who's got the boy?
You do.
I do.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Still kind of high.
No, that was all cleared.
I cleared
Oh.
you.
Yeah.
I didn't. That was news to me. Thanks.
You were here during that roll.
I wasn't. No.
You were.
Yes,
yes.
you were.
No.
You even
All I
tried
know
to
is that
help
there
me,
was
but
some
you
kind
couldn't.
of magic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
were-
didn't know what was happening because I didn't get back until you
Guess
asked
what?
to name it.
She cleared your mind. You're
Oh,
all.
well,
Yes.
you're all good.
Everybody in the
You've
party
been
is
acting
clear.
high. You're like the kid that goes to the party and
like, I'm
pretends to
totally-
be drinking.
I totally do the pot.
Okay, well then I'm not high.
You're very clear-headed at the moment. Does that change any of your decisions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now I'm really wondering if I should do what I should do,
You tell me.
or what I was going to do.
The match is lit. As soon as he drops it on that stash, this room's gonna fill with dense smoke. So you have a second to make a decision before you open that door.
Do I go with Do I go with what I want to do, or what's best for the group?
It's up to you.
Don't know. You have the boy on your back.
No.
Oh. Alright. Best for the group. Let's do it. Let's get out of here.
So as you open the door, smoke begins to come in once more. You step through it and you hear the sharp crack of flame as the room begins to catch on fire. Shinlim comes to the edge of the door, waits for you all to get in the hallway. Alright. I will try to stay slow. Stay on my tail. He'll be coming any moment now. And he begins to make his way down the hallway. For Mike and Blanche, yeah, he is pretty quick. William, you're able to keep up decently, but he begins to get a bit further and further away. I would like for all 3 of you just to take a risk to see how quickly you're going to be able to move through here. So anything that helps you go fast. So give me an idea of how fast he can go.
That's what super speed's for. Do. I think super speed's all I
How
have.
fast would you say he is?
Very.
fast.
He has a tier 5 catch status. So if you were trying to catch him, you would have to basically have a power of 5 to even get close. So he has the ability to be faster than anyone here, but he's not
way
going to.
faster than me.
He's basically going to try to be slow enough that all of you are with him. So that's the thing, is how fast is the group going to be able to move?
Saying, yeah, he's way faster than me, and I've dodged a bullet, literally. So
Okay.
he's quick, and he's a jerk, and I hit him with a sledgehammer in the face, so he should be slower, but he's not.
Yeah, I think
Could
that
I?
sledgehammer was dropped a little while ago when you went to catch that.
Yeah, it's gone, but
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's not
Could-
cool.
Could I do a change the game as we're running and try to make us move faster, Mike and I?
Okay. Yeah, what kind of spell are you thinking? I'm definitely cool with like creating a story tag here as you like go out to create like some kind of
Well, we've been dealing with a lot of Greek mythology, so I think I kind of want to take my cue from that and try to magic up some knockoffs of Hermes's sandals.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, go ahead and as you kind of walk into the hallway, you begin to cast this spell for Mike and yourself to give yourself a bit more speed.
Mine's just a face danger.
So yours is going to be a take the risk.
Take the risk, okay.
I'm thinking a shape for all occasions because she's changing the form of the shoes that we're wearing.
Okay.
Cast magic spells and library benefactor because it's something she would have picked up in a Greek mythology.
Okay.
And that's a change the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So you can definitely kind of same thing. You can give each other, or both you and him, a status of like tier 3 Hermes shoes, and then use the other power tag to scale up the effect to affect both of you.
Okay, so this is a status.
So then for your take the risk, you can add that tier 3 on top of any other power tags to that roll. And so William got an 8.
I don't know, I think that may be the only thing I can really use.
Okay.
So
Perfect. And Mike?
you get tier 3 Hermes shoes, Mike.
Yep. And then any other power tags you feel are going to help you be fast.
Mike gets to be fast again.
How many pluses are the shoes?
3. So it's a tier 3 status, so it's +3.
Okay.
I am useful.
I'm carrying a dead kid.
He's not dead.
He's not dead.
I mean, dead enough. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that a failure with an 11? What the hell?
No, it's just because he rolled a 1 on one of his 2d6. So no,
Wow.
it's still a great success.
Yeah.
It's just roll 20 being silly.
Well, I mean, it's still showing that I like kind of tripped up, but then the shoes flipped on and helped
So
me
this
out.
is actually perfect. Okay, so this is what happens. You all kind of enter into the hallway. Blanche, casts some magic, and you Blanche and Mike, you start to feel your kind of your feet start to tremor, and as you move, it almost seems like you're gliding across the ground, moving so fast, to the point that even Shenlib kind of looks back a bit surprised. But William, you begin to run, and you're kind of keeping up. You're finding yourself a bit slowed down because of the weight of Hans on top of you. But that's when your other senses begin to click in from being well fed. And you have a sense, you haven't seen him yet, but as you're running past this hallway, you just feel that the boss is down that hallway. You have a choice. You can leave Hans with the rest of the crew and go and fight, or you can take the risk of being the one at the back of the group when he comes upon you in his own time. What do you want to do?
Oh boy. Oh boy. So what? They have a. Yeah. If I leave the kid, will they know? I just be like, hey, here's the kid, type thing.
It's basically going to be you're like throwing Hans to, I assume, Mike as you're running, and then just disappearing down a hallway as they're still moving. Like, it's going to be so fast that you're going to be there and then gone before they really know what hit them. They'll have an opportunity in a little bit once they realize what's happened to stop if they wish, but it's up to you at the moment to decide what you want to do.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go fight because it's what I do. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, hey Mike, catch, and I'll throw Hans, and then I'll disappear down a hallway.
Because of your great speed, Mike, you catch him almost without realizing it, just reactively.
Well, yeah, bullet time.
And you are both running and running and running, and after a few hallways, you realize William is no longer with us. William, you make your way down the hallway. The light begins to grow a bit brighter. The smoke begins to swirl a bit thicker. And that's when you again see those purple eyes. They stop at the edge of the hallway, maybe about 25 feet away from you. And the mist begins to clear, or the smoke begins to clear a little bit, so you can see the face of Abraham, the boss, once more. He looks down to you. We keep finding ourselves in these hallways, you and I. Are you here to have more of the supply? It seems you haven't had enough. Or are you going to try some more of your fancy tricks to stop me?
Nope, no tricks. I'm just gonna punch you in the face. And I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Very well. So you begin running down the hallway?
Yep.
Alright, he is going to run right back to you. Yeah, I don't think you're trying to surprise him with this, right? Like, you're clearly
Nope.
showing you want to boop him in the face. Awesome. Let's go toe to toe.
Alright. I'm gonna use some super speed and some martial arts and my mean right hook.
Okay. And then.
And hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use aggressive behavior as well.
Okay. Your burned palms definitely going to be a negative in this situation.
Mm-hmm. That's not a surprise.
And yeah, I'm gonna let the story tags play out as they are. Don't have to add them for this one necessarily. So let's go toe to toe. So you were attempting to just boop him in the face, and he's attempting to do the same to you. Let's see
Hey,
what happens.
screw you, big boy!
Okay, so on a hit, you still get to choose two of those. Unfortunately, you don't have any power to create a status itself, but
Nope.
you could use this to inform your decision on whether you're trying to, I don't know. What was the punch intended to do? Because I think William would be smart enough to know he's not going to go down in a single punch, so.
No, I'm not trying to knock him out. I'm just trying to keep him busy.
Okay, so.
I just kind of want to not like daze him, but I want him to, be focused on me instead of the rest of the.
Like, yeah,
place,
you are his sole target, absolutely.
Yeah. I want to make it threatening enough.
As he goes to punch you as well, you're able to get around him. You dodge his attempt, and you end up just going blow for blow. So now there's heavy combat. You're just both beating on each other in the hallway. Back into the other hallway, you're all running and running and running. And again, the light begins to fade as you kind of get further and further away from the hallway that William is in. Shen Lim kind of slows for a moment, looks back. Your friend is gone. We're nearly there. Our time is now. Are you coming, or are you staying?
Get us out and go back for him. That was the plan originally, was it not?
That was the plan originally in the room, but your friend changed the plan as soon as he was out. But I guess there has to be some trust in this relationship, isn't there?
Yes.
Very well. He begins running, and you notice that the walls get very strange. It's almost like walking through one of those fun houses with the different mirrors, where everything starts to change its shape, its figure. It becomes very almost dizzying, almost making your stomach sick as you're just trying to figure out what's going on, as the way the smoke moves and the way that the walls curve into each other. Shin kind of looks down, just look at the ground. We're almost there. You finally get to a piece of the wall that looks like nothing else. And in fact, it even looks more dangerous than the rest. More pokes and prods than you would expect. But he stops and he stands and he looks at it. All right, we are here. And he takes a step forward, and as he does, very similar to the veil that you had put up before, Blanche, it seems a veil, some kind of illusion, is placed here, and he steps through it. He leaves his foot behind and kind of leans over this way to kind of indicate the area to walk through.
I will follow.
He takes a step back, and you walk into the dark cellar room. You see that your string has been cut and is now just hanging loosely from the door down into the floor of the cellar room.
That's problematic. Alright. I'm gonna go up to the door, I guess.
As you go up to the door, you hear talking on the outside of it. Conversation.
I will stop and listen.
Take a moment to listen. You hear vague conversation. Yeah, this building. I don't know what it is about it. This is the third time we've been in the area. We checked across the warehouse there. Yeah. Oh, I know. I don't have no idea what they did to that. There's blood everywhere. I'm not sure. They haven't found a body yet. It could be. You can hear the conversation, but you don't quite hear the other side of it.
Uh-huh.
I guess I will try to create another illusionary distraction to pull them away from the building.
Okay. What kind of distraction are we doing this time?
Just set him on fire.
It was gunfire last. So
Yeah, so that worked out well for them until one of them died.
you know what? I'm gonna try for gunfire in the distance again, because it's something she's familiar with. She's already done it once, so it shouldn't be hard to recreate.
Okay. I'm going to say that this is just going to be a take the risk. Since you've already kind of cast this spell, we don't have to see you necessarily cast it again. Yeah, any power tags you feel will be irrelevant as you go to Kapow in the distance.
Alright. I think I'm just gonna do magic spells and patience and cunning. I don't have another one at the moment that applies.
Okay.
I have a juice from disorientation. could I apply that to sort of like try to kind of get them a little off kilter so that when they hear it.
Yeah, maybe not knowing where the area is, like they just hear a gunshot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm cool with you using that for that.
Perfect. Okay. Oh dear, I should really reset that before I start adding new tags.
Plus 12. Got it.
It was like +6. I was
There we
like,
go.
wait, what?
It'll work.
I mean, I had a +5 on the the 11.
So is this what am I rolling?
This
Take
is a
risk?
take a risk, basically, to see if they'll leave. Whoever's out front of this door is going to leave. Okay.
Maybe.
You yeah, so as you go, there's this large, almost sounds like a rifle sound going off in the distance. And that's when you hear another voice. The reason you weren't hearing it, it was a bit fainter. It was a female voice. Again. All right. You go and sort with that. Very well, Chief Inspector. And that male voice you had been hearing begins running by. You hear footsteps begin to come close to the door, and you feel the knob begin to turn. Your hand is still on it.
I'm gonna try and hold it tight and reach over and at the same time reach over and grab Mike's hand and put it on the knob because he's stronger than me.
Okay. As you both place your hands on the doorknob, you feel it rattle for a moment, thinking it's hot. Then a long sigh. And then something slides out onto the door.
I'm gonna look down.
It's a small,
I'm gonna hold the
looks
knob.
like a leather wallet.
Is it like all the way under the door?
Yeah, it's all the way under the door.
Okay, so gonna pick it up and have a look.
As you open it up, there's an emblem on the inside. It's a badge.
Is it the order badge?
It is an order badge. On the other side, it's a Chief Inspector's badge. The name Thalia Justice. As you take it, Mike, you feel the handle release. Well, I guess it's time for us to meet then. Whenever you wish to open the door.
Gonna show Mike the badge. And then take my hand off of the handle.
You hear the footsteps kind of back away from the door.
I think you can open.
I'm gonna throw the door open.
Standing outside, it's beginning to rain just a little bit, and then there's a woman. She's dressed in a dark blue outfit. It looks very official and has the insignia of a chief inspector. She's mid-30s, brown hair, blue eyes. She kind of has a Spanish look to her. She has a fedora on her head and a cigarello on her lips. She looks and gives you a look of authority. Fortunately, this day has come, hasn't it? Kind of looks behind. Oh, and you're not alone. Lovely. I guess it might be best that I come down there. She begins to make her way towards the door. Kind of pushes to have you all move back. And closes it loud behind her. The orange glow from her cigarello kind of glows within the room. Well, as you can read, I am Chief Inspector Thalia Justice. We haven't had a chance to meet yet, but I've been watching you all very closely. It seems you've got yourself into a bit of a sticky situation once again. And of course, I'm here to clean up after it. So who's this one then? She points to Shen.
Someone we met in the labyrinth who could find his way out.
Ah,
Apparently, he was working for the boy's parents.
I see. So another loose end. She goes to her side and she pulls out a revolver, cocks it back, and points it at Shenlim's head. He looks to both of you with panic.
I will have swiftly stepped between them.
Due
And then-
respect, ma'am, but
Just crossing my arms.
that seems a bit, overboard for the situation, considering his aid was invaluable.
She looks at you, Blanche, child, looking past your disguise. You clearly do not know who I am. As your handler from the Order, I have the right to do what the fuck I want to do. Mike, you wish to stand in front of me, fine. I can find others just like you. I don't mind putting a bullet through you. In fact, I believe it would actually save my ass from having to clean up after you each and every time. So make a choice. Is a life of this, well, whatever he is, loose end with yours? I don't think so. How about we deal with the situation, get out of here, and we can have a conversation about your actions at my office.
Are you going to be able to find William in the labyrinth? And get him out? No.
She looks. And why is William still in the, what did you call it? Labyrinth?
Labyrinth, because he's distracting the Minotaur to give us time to get the boy out safe. But unfortunately, we're standing here wasting our time talking to you.
Minotaur, you say?
Yes.
You've seen this beast?
Yes.
And you believe it to be a threat. Why?
Drugs.
Because he is.
The air in there is not clean. It took a considerable amount of my power to keep us mentally coherent and cognizant while we were in there. And it's only a matter of time before someone else comes along and ends up becoming his supplier again.
She'll notice my still bloodshot eyes.
Drugs, you say? Again, I might ask, though. Drugs are relevant with, or prevalent without the entire city. I have not heard of any Minotaur causing a ruckus outside of this area before. Why would he become a threat now?
Because a special type of opium was coming out of this place.
And what makes it so special?
I don't know, I'm not expert on the matter of opium. Can we please go back and get William before he gets killed?
I'm fine. It's okay.
As we're having this conversation, let's go back to William and see how that's going. You're in the midst of fisticuffs, just beating on each other back and forth. You're getting a hit in, he's getting a hit in, and it's not really causing either of you to back down. You both kind of step back to take a breath. Kind of looks at you once more. You remind me of someone. Not that long ago. The same one that has, well, taken advantage of me to this day. Tell me, why is it that you risk your life in here? What are you fighting for?
I don't know. Friends, family, people, myself. It's all kind of a blur.
A fighter
Mainly
with
the
no
kids.
direction, then. That's unfortunate. Very well. He turns and takes a step back, and you hear this strange cracking and stretching as the walls around you begin to tighten. He takes another step back, and they begin to tighten even more. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna shoot for the hips. I'm gonna try to slam him to the ground.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let him use magic.
You begin to charge in to grab him and tackle him to the ground. Go ahead and go toe to toe once more.
Ultimate Fighter and martial arts and super speed will have to help. And doop. And the doop. Aha, take that.
So as you go and you wrap your arms around his hips, he continues to move. The pure strength of his form and the power of his rift will not allow him to be restrained. He can still manage to achieve something or block or to counter his best attempts. For the moment, you are draped around his legs and he is still standing.
Sorry.
He looks down at you. Many have tried to slow me. It will
I'm
not
going
happen.
to I'm gonna punch him in the dick.
All right, so you basically are dropping down to the ground and just going for a quick shot to the groin.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, as you kind of release your grip, I think he's going to try to like boot you away, give you a solid kick. So I'm going to say we can go ahead and use. So you managed to dodge. I'll give you 2 of that power from the previous roll to add on to this one.
All right. So we're going to, what is that? Another face danger, I guess.
So this is another go toe to toe. Basically, you're looking to punch him. He's looking to kick you.
Some more super speed. Predict a foe's next move. Because I'm gonna see this slow kick coming. And a mean right hook.
Okay.
Plus the 2 power. Yeah. And go toe to toe with the dick punch.
Very nice. Yeah, you end up dodging out of the way enough that his leg lifts up even more, and you go for a solid punch. What 2 are you looking to use here?
I'm gonna.
While he decides that, quick sidebar, Bloody. Is this what you expected tonight?
I didn't expect this, bitch. That's
Okay,
Nobody.
Continue.
So I'm gonna give him a tier 5 status of ruptured gonads.
Okay.
I'm also going to I'm gonna achieve my goal of completely distracting him,
So you do notice that as you punch, his skin seems to be a bit thicker, so he does have a special move, which we are, as GM, supposed to post. So he just has thick hide. So he does reduce the tier of the status by 1. So it's still a tier 4 solid
tier 4
punch to
ruptured ball.
To the gut. But because you didn't block, he is still going to be able to kick you away. He goes and begins to kind of grab himself and kind of lean over, looking at you. You see the eyes begin to turn dark purple once more. And that's where we're going to take our first break. I need to go get some more water and stuff. When we come back, we will see how we're going to deal with the boss. And you guys are going to deal with your boss outside.